You ever see an image that, like, you just kind of see it in passing, and you just can't stop thinking about it? That's happened to me earlier today. So there's this Twitter account, Comp Aesthetics, that I follow. And just going by the name, you probably know what it is. Just like old school computer images that are just like cool old computers in different situations. And there was this one that I saw that they posted earlier that I'm just like, why does this exist? So you got, this is posted to the Comp Aesthetics thing. You got these Russia kids just chopping up some raw chickens, right? And then the next shot, chicken successfully butchered, it's gamer time. What the fuck is going on here? Like, they're playing, like, I think they're playing, like, Counter-Strike. I think one of them is playing Counter-Strike. But it just goes from chicken chopping time to gamer time. And I'm sitting there trying to figure out why the fuck this is. I mean, it's Russia, obviously. Like, Russians just do stuff. But then I'm sitting there thinking, like, obviously it's Russia, like, they just have pet bears and shit. So why wouldn't they chop up chickens to, you know, just alright, we're gonna chop up the chickens in the same room where we game, where we have our gamer time playing Counter-Strike. I'm looking through the responses, and people are saying things like, oh yeah, I saw this picture years ago, and the story, actually, at Feek AM, it is the Ukraine. It is Ukrainian. I'm just saying Russia, because like, first it starts off being presented Russian, and then we learn it's Ukraine. There's actually something that I was thinking about making a Tales from the Internet episode about, but I realized there's not enough to the story to make it a full Tales from the Internet episode, so I guess I'm going to talk about it on stream and clip it a little bit for the second channel. So they're sitting down when we're having gamer time in the room with the chopped up chickens, and people have all kinds of explanations for why this is so. And I'm looking through the responses, and like the one that caught my attention was that this was a pro gamer team from the Ukraine, and they had a theory that chopping up the raw chicken would like boost their gamer senses to game better. And I'm kind of thinking, like, you got all these evolutionary psychology theories for different things. I'm like, why wouldn't there be gamer bro science like this, with competitive gaming being such a thing and whatnot? But I can't imagine that that is true, because I mean, thinking about it from that evolutionary psychology perspective, you're in the wild, you're a primal Stone Age man hunting down a wild chicken, you rip it apart and you get all that raw meat out there. Why would you have the testosterone boost then after you've already butchered the chicken? Makes no sense, right? So I guess like that's not a valid Rogan-esque gamer bro science moment there. But then it still leaves the question, why the fuck do these kids butcher these chickens and start gaming? And while I'm doing like a bunch of reverse image searches, and apparently it's this youth center in the Ukraine. Like they just have like, I guess kids go to do activities. They have their gamer time. I think these are your old pictures. And then it turns out that I don't think they are Zoomers. I think this is like, these are just old pictures of millennials, maybe. Because even like the original quality of it is, I mean, granted, it's like, it's Russia. I don't know enough about Russian technology to know like it does look like a good quality picture. So it turns out that they cut up the chickens and they donated them, which, you know, awesome, helping out the less fortunate. Why the fuck did they do that though? And then in the salmonella in the fucking air. I don't know if that's a thing, but I imagine, you know, you're chopping up enough chickens, you got salmonella in the air, and then they just go. Actually, you can even see some of the chickens aren't even done being butchered. Like they got halfway through, and it's like, all right, guys, we got a game now. Counter-Strike waits for no one, and you can see, like, the right side of the table, there's still chickens waiting to be butchered. I don't understand it. But it's a youth center, they donated the chickens. Actually, looking at it, it might even be different people at the computers from who's butchering it. It's hard to tell. Like, you just got guys with no shirts on, guys with shirts on and hoodies. They might have honestly taken the shirts off, so, like, to prevent the splatter from infecting their clothing. I don't know, but that's as far as I got in the exploration of why this is. It's not gamer bro science. They just opted to chop up the chickens while chop up the chickens and then have gamer time halfway through. Hope they washed their hands and didn't get salmonella. I know there's always that debate about, yo, you gotta wash the chicken before you cook it. But that's no good. It gets salmonella all over the fucking place. Anything you're gonna rinse off with the chicken, you're gonna get burned up when you cook it. But anyway, that's all there is to that story that I know of so far. It's a youth center from the Ukraine. No idea why they chose to chop up the chickens over there. All I know is that they chopped them up and donated them and then had gamer time. And then you can probably see why. It's like, this is like, it's interesting enough for me to talk about on stream, but there's just not enough of a story for me to make a whole ass video about it on YouTube. So this is a second channel for sure. But anyway, let me talk to you guys a little bit more. I just had to get that out of my system because I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about that for hours.